Greetings, friends, and welcome to today's dose of inspiration. It is my hopes that today I will inspire you to be a little bit more concerned with people around you. Do you know the Bible tells us to bear ye one another's burdens and fulfill the law of Christ? That's exactly right. None of us are an island unto ourselves, and we should not live as though we are. And sadly, we live in a culture right now where that seems to be the idea that is propagated, that it's you and you alone. Do what feels good for you, do what's best for you, and don't worry about anybody else. That philosophy, my friends, is far from what the scriptures expects from us. We are all integrated together, one big family, and God expects us to look out for the betterment of each other. Whenever He issued that challenge to us to bear one another's burdens, He absolutely intended for us to fulfill that. He expects us to be on the lookout for the needs of those around us, and not just in a physical, materialistic way. As a matter of fact, when we read this passage, it isn't even necessarily referring point blank to a materialistic idea. Instead, it is talking more in a spiritual sense, an emotional sense, a mental sense. Do you know that you should help bear the burdens of people around you, whether it is materialistically or otherwise? That you should help people whenever they have sin issues in their life that they're trying to overcome. That you should help bear the weight of that burden that is on them and help provide ways to bring them out of such a bondage. Mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever the need is of someone around you when they are burdened and weighted down, we are to bear those burdens. We are to help lighten the load. We are to be genuine friends, and we are to emulate Christ, who went around doing good for everyone He came in contact with, trying to relieve whatever burden they had. Friends, don't be in the habit of living a selfish, self-centered life. It's time that we become outward focused once again, that we really do look to our neighbors, that we look to those even that we may not consider friends, and bear their burdens. Quickly before we go, I'm reminded of the story of the Good Samaritan. There was a gentleman that found himself in big trouble, and what we could say was kind of a burden at the moment. Fortunately for that young man, this Good Samaritan came his way and decided that he would help lighten that guy's burden, lighten his load. A lot of you will know the story, but if you don't, just to make a long story short for the sake of time today, this Samaritan man took this gentleman, put him in a hotel, paid for all of his expenses, and made sure that his needs were 100% met. And here's the incredible thing about the story. The Samaritan should have been an enemy of that gentleman just by instance of race and creed. Instead, he looked past that to humanity. And he knew that he must be a good neighbor, a good friend, and help this guy in his time of need. Friends, I'm encouraging you to do that today. I want to encourage you to look past religious differences, to look past skin differences, to look past nationality differences, and look instead to our humanity, because we are all the same in God's eyes. Every single human, in essence, is our neighbor. And it would do us well to begin learning how to help bear their burdens in order to fulfill the law of Christ. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I pray that you will walk in the favor and the blessing of the Lord. See you soon.